Chrissy Teigen. I'm not well. Fuel me. Oh dear. Poor old Chrissy Teigen. She of the name that she's not sure how to pronounce, therefore she gets two versions whenever I mention her, is apparently not very well. An article by Sam Joseph Semen in the Daily Mail reports Chrissy Teigen reveals she's not feeling well by sharing selfie in bed, over a month after welcoming her and John Legend's third child via C-section. If you haven't caught up on some of my other videos about Chrissy Teigen, I'd invite you to do so. You'll find them hugely entertaining, and as always, they'll further your understanding of a particular type of narcissist. Chrissy Teigen is often described as a thirsty individual, and she's thirsty for fuel. As a narcissist, she subconsciously seeks out the prime aims of character traits, control, fuel, and, of course, those residual benefits. Probably at this moment, there are tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people who aren't feeling very well. Some may be terminally ill, suffering from heart disease or cancer. Others are feeling particularly unwell as a consequence of other infections and diseases. And there'll be others that are suffering from flu, a cold, measles, mumps, and so on and so forth. Some people are not feeling well as a consequence of having banged their head. Some people aren't feeling very well because they had 1 over the 8 and they're feeling hungover. But of course, with Chrissy Teigen, she needs the world to know that she's not particularly well. We don't need to know that she's unwell, but her, with her sense of entitlement and lack of accountability for her behaviours, believes that the world all needs to know about the fact that Chrissy Teigen is unwell. Chrissy Teigen revealed that she was not feeling well on Thursday as she shared a photo of herself lying in bed and looking unwell to her Instagram story. Quite why we need to know this, the simple answer is we don't. But her need for fuel means that she pumps this out as a pity play. The cookbook author, 37, was particularly upset about feeling under the weather on National Banana Bread Day. I'm sure your hearts are bleeding for Chrissy Teigen, because apparently she considers it to be the holiest day of the year. I wonder if, for instance, she rang up Harry's wife and asked, "Are you getting somebody else to make some banana bread for you?" But just because Teigen wasn't able to indulge, that didn't stop her husband, John Legend, from preparing some homemade banana bread for himself and their kids. I bet you're absolutely delighted that this self-indulgent, self-absorbed, satellite dish-faced woman wants to pollute newspapers with this kind of self-propagating nonsense. At a time when in a Mediterranean sea crossing, people smugglers were throwing children into the sea in order to lighten the load, resulting in many of them drowning, whilst over 50,000 people have been killed in earthquakes in Syria and Turkey, whilst people continue to wrestle with high inflation, increased energy costs and a cost of living crisis, with people losing their jobs as a consequence of cutbacks, you'll all be delighted to know that notwithstanding the horrors of those economic woes and the world generally, and of course so much more that I've not mentioned, that we are treated to the report that Chrissy Teigen is both feeling unwell and also particularly upset because she can't indulge in National Banana Bread Day. She shared several videos of the EGOT winner 44 using the banana bread mix from Teigen's Cravings line, which he described as a crowd pleaser. So basically it's another attempt to merch her circumstances by making reference to something from her cookbook food line. Utterly see-through. Teigen's posts come just over a month after the couple welcomed their third child, daughter Esty, via C-section. Legend explained in the clip that he was making the treat because he and his wife had some family in town and they wanted to be good hosts. Fascinating. Teigen Teigen went on to share a video of Legend pulling the banana bread out of the oven and laying it on a rack to cool, something which nobody has ever seen happen before, and therefore caused worldwide cheering and ecstatic outpourings at witnessing such a unique event. The social media figure also posted a video of her daughter Luna, aged 6, who was coincidentally wearing banana-covered pyjamas this day. When she asked her eldest child if she knew that it was National Banana Bread Day, her daughter replied with words which would put some of the great orators of our time to shame. She said, "No." So, those of you who've got the speeches by Winston Churchill, throw them away. Anything that Martin Luther King had to say, it's nonsense. You just need to learn the wise words of Luna Teigen Teigen, or Luna Legend. I don't know whose name she takes after. But either way, she said no. Apparently Teigen Teigen and Legend wed in 2013 after dating on-off for several years, bringing up the past. They initially met in 2006 on a set of one of Legend's music videos when a signal for part of the video was lost, and therefore they plugged in Teigen Teigen and utilised her as an impromptu satellite dish. They welcomed their first child, Luna, in April 2016. Son Miles, 4, arrived 2 years later in 2018. Teigen Teigen fell pregnant for a third time in the summer of 2020, although she later had to undergo a life-saving abortion, although at the time she described it as a miscarriage, which she then decided it would be appropriate to post all over her social media as she desperately sought fuel as a consequence of her pity play. She also exhibited no emotional empathy as a consequence of indulging in something which was a private event and plastering it all over her social media. She then underwent IVF treatments and revealed in August 2022 that she was pregnant with a baby girl because nobody else has ever been pregnant before. Esty was born on January the 13th, which John revealed during a private concert. Teigen Teigen confirmed their daughter's arrival days later in an Instagram post, thus ensuring that already their newborn child was being exploited and triangulated with. Legend recently opened up about his family life and told people that he's proud of his wife for being open about her fertility struggles, or at least that's what she said he had to say, otherwise he'd get a swift kick to his clementines. I think Chrissy's done a good job of destigmatising some of these things that so many people go through in silence, he said, although he omitted to talk about her track record of encouraging people to kill themselves online. The performer went on to express that he felt as if people should be more open about their experiences with IVF. There are a lot of women and families that have fertility struggles, and I think no one should feel ashamed of needing some help sometimes. So much so, we ensure that we have these PR puff pieces in publications so we can talk about our line of merching to get more money for ourselves. Another blatant attempt at controlling people through the press, drawing in fuel, and of course the residual benefit of merchandising a range whilst talking about banana bread, abortions and IVF all in the same article, demonstrating the despicable self-absorbed nature of Chrissy Teigen Teigen that we've all come to know as a consequence of her narcissism. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.